either, but look at all the mangoes here in this offlane. There's going to be a lot of harass coming out.
Absolutely. Nightstalker will be looking to spam these spells here in the Void, actually, if you manage to level that up. And with the help of the Undying here, you should be able to get a decent amount of XP until the first nighttime hits. Then, yeah, that's actually a very decent nuke to have if you only have that level 2, maybe 1 point in Hunter in a night. And if you're level 4 already at the first nighttime, that's yeah, better than average, I would say, for Nightstalkers these days. But hey, we'll see how these lanes turn out. Looks like a 1-for-1 Rune Shade versus gonna see if he can snag the top one for himself, but he has to be very, very careful. We'll probably decide, nope, not gonna have any of it. Wise decision here in my book. Everyone will see it for Golden Voice.
Yeah, I think that's just a really smart play, and looks like the runes are going to go 1-for-1, no one getting a huge advantage. Of course, it would have been fantastic to start the anti-mage out with a little bit more farm, but I'm sure Havost will make it up.
Yep. Lanes take shape. We actually have maybe next time hanging around the top here to try and help out Skylark. It's an interesting dual lane, but yeah. Maybe it's not a dual lane at all. He will probably just for the Fissure here, just to make sure that the first creep wave will go the way of the Darks here. And then he'll make his way mid, try to be useful. That's kind of the way we see Earthshakers played these days. Just try and create as much space as you can, and then at some point just try and get your levels. Maybe find a friend-free lane once the rotations start coming in.
Already some really heavy harass up top as Winter Wyvern using that Arctic Burn just to keep Skylark back. I think if there were ever a lane to give a Darkseer a bunch of problem, I think it would be the anti-mage Winter Wyvern, so Skylark is going to have a little bit of trouble staying as close to the wave as he'd like.
Yep. Especially anti-mage, I mean, when it comes to melee versus melee matchups, and pretty much one-on-one matchups here, not recounting the Winter Wyvern right now, Darkseer is usually really good against these kind of heroes, just because he can spam Iron Shell on the creeps. If you want to last hit, you're gonna take damage. Anti-mage is one of the better heroes to deal with that, once he puts just 1 point into his spell shield, and also because of the mana burn that he has. He's able to just man-fight heroes like Clockwork, heroes like Darkseer, drain some of the mana if they get too close themselves, and yeah.
Mid lane, there's gonna be a lot of damage traded, as looks like Thug is just gonna get very, very low, taking down to that Shadow Strike.
Wow,
yeah.
Hello.
That's Shadow Strike for 2 points, and that was a great distribution. It looks like Afro Ninja securing first blood in the mid lane, coming out as the lead lady here.
Well, there was a little bit of misplay too from Windrunner. Nice self-cancel here from the Earthshaker there, at least. So Afro Ninja will have to wait for his bottle, which is on the way though, so he won't be too sad about it. But yeah, speaking of stealth, Stark had one. He could have just easily stealthed up. Oh, hang on, there's a fight here. Shachel will get Blooms back just a little bit. It's not nighttime yet, so that will be all she wrote. They say Skank snagging the DD rune right out of their hands. But yeah, I think Windrunner could have salved in between the ticks and would have survived there. Maybe just didn't do the map right or something.
Yeah, I think she wasn't anticipating the 2 points in Shadow Strike as opposed to just going the standard 1-1-1 build that I see a lot. I think that was absolutely the right move, especially against a Windrunner who, you know, if you catch her off guard without her Windrun, you've pretty much secured a kill.
Yep. And that's exactly the situation where Windrun doesn't even help you. I mean, he was standing in the trees, Windrunning, just to make sure not to get any extra damage. I think it would be enough, but yeah, as I said, 2 points off on the Shadow Strike, really good tool if you have as the Queen of Pain, and that's exactly what can win you the lane, especially in this game now already. Afro Ninja with the first blood, decisive advantage now here.
Absolutely. Up top, we are going to see a lot more harass coming onto Skylark. He's just completely out of regen now, has the Soul Ring completed, but I mean, Anti-Mage is doing fine, getting all the farm he needs right now, and that can be really scary going into the mid game.
Yeah, it is definitely, and it's not like Skylark is doing too bad. He's level 3.5 by about 3.5 minutes. He's right on pace for a good offlaner. Same time though, Shachel and Undying, Shachel and Goddamn here, they're putting on a lot of pressure here. They're intercepting the pole, getting some of the last hits with that, and Skanks has to be really careful. He's on level 2, has the glimpse, sure, but anything else won't really do a lot unless he can maybe get a good kinetic field off. But
yeah, I mean,
once it turns nighttime, Skanks has to be super careful about just being run down, really.
He's in a really tricky position because he's, you know, the babysitter here, but he's also such easy food, and the more and more he feeds, the stronger that the offlaners are going to get, and the more he needs to protect Kaiser. So, a little bit of a catch-22 here. Kaiser's getting some pretty good farm. He's at 13 last hits right now, so not ideal, but
Try and
he has
go
that
for
flame
it
guard.
now. It is nighttime. Gotham takes a lot of damage from the flame guard here. Tombstone is down as well though, and Kaiser, he's taking a lot of damage. He's kind of locked into place. He will get the kill, but Chachlo might get the counter. He doesn't have enough mana with plenty of tangos. Nice doing chains, and the kinetic field will keep Chachlo in place though. And now stuck between the trees and the creeps and the heroes. It'll be 2 for nothing down in this off bottom lane. Really nice timing from Golden Boys there. Just finding the right angle to fight. Just when HellRaisers were thinking, all right, now let's start turning the dials, putting on the pressure on ourselves. It's not exactly the way that they wanted to start off this first nighttime.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was thinking in my head, like, oh, nighttime's coming. This is going to be really dangerous for Ember Spirit and Disruptor. And then no, suddenly it was, you know, a double kill, and that's fantastic. That's exactly what they need to get Kaiser farmed up enough to deal with this really aggressive mid lane.
Especially considering that he hasn't really had the amount of last hits that he kind of would have wanted. If you compare that to Vost, was that absolute free farm up in the top lane. He's nowhere near where he needs to be. But then again, Kaiser on the Ember Spirit, that hero has kind of a different curve. He can do more with just a couple of levels than the Anti-Mage could. Anti-Mage is kind of an all or nothing hero. If you have farm, you're great. If you don't, well, why did you pick this hero, right? Ember Spirit though, if you just get a couple of levels, you can do quite a bit in these early phases of the in the laning stage in general, and also in the early phases of the mid game, just on the back of your magic damage. If you have that Flame Guard maxed out, if you have the Searing Chains maxed out, that's actually can be really hard to deal with if you get those on the right targets.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key to anti-mage, you know, ultra simple down is just don't die and get farm, whereas Ember Spirit is all about tactical positioning, making sure you get kills at appropriate times. And speaking of getting kills, it looks like the Fissure will be off the mark and not catching out anyone here.
Yeah. Right now it's only Chachlo here, just getting some extra levels. Still has the mangoes. Has level 5, so he can start rotating around if he wants to. But it's kind of hard as well, because Golden Boys, they're not really playing too far forward. They're sticking to their own jungle, they're sticking to the lanes and to the towers as well. So it can be hard to find an opening without you putting yourself in danger as well. Especially up against an Earthshaker with the TP scroll, able to roam around and get the good Fissure block off like in that last fight.
No.
Yeah, we are going to see in the mid lane, Windrunner, she's still keeping herself in this. She only has 19 last hits to the Queen of Pain's 33 now, but she has a haste rune in her bottle, and Thug could go in for a kill if she really, really wants to.
Has to be really, really careful though, because Queen of Pain is level 7, and that ultimate plus another Scream of Pain would have probably been close to enough to actually bring Thug down together with the Shadow Strike, so yeah. Tables can flip as well, if Waffen Energy decides to just go. He might be able to burst down Thug just in the blink of an eye, really. No pun intended.
And this could be something we're watching out for, although we are going to see maybe next time rotating in, has the protective Fissure if he needs to, but only level 3, no Echo Slam in any near sight.
Oh, Thug tries to go for the play there with the Shackle on the range creep, but unfortunately not quite far enough to lash. I've seen Shackles lash from that distance, it's like really weird sometimes.
That's the siege creep, man. It's always breaking up the plans. Now we are going to see a TP into top. Skylark at full health. Now bringing in Kaiser, they could be going for a kill here. Ion Shell up on the Ember Spirit. Looks like there could be a Sleight of Fist in the works.
Bo's gonna try and fight, but no, just says he's 2 heroes. And just leave YOLO Warrior to die, probably a wise decision. He couldn't really have done too much there. Last rotation, that's exactly what I was talking about. Not just Ember Spirit with the Flame Guard, add an Ion Shell on top of that. So much damage over time just from the hero being there. Some of which you can dispel, some of it which you have to use a lot of magic damage to dispel, and Winter Wyvern doesn't exactly have that burst. Only level 3 himself, only 1 point into the ice shards, so not a whole lot he could have done there. Nice kill, and the glimpse back, plus the rune deny. Skanks might still die for his trying to teleport out, but that's wishful thinking. Yeah, we go. Undying. Goddamn, claiming that lasted just in the nick of time, so starting to get some more action here. And Kaiser actually putting on pressure on the Vost now. He might have need some help to actually bring down his Ember Spirit and shoo him off the lane. That being said, we've got YOLO Warrior battled by Skylark. He might fall again. There's a Fissure kind of off the mark though. That was really, really unfortunate. If YOLO Warrior was on the other side there, that would have been yet another easy pickup on that Winter Wyvern.
Really, really aggressive movement in this mid lane here as goddamn and Afro Ninja are just gonna go in and take the mid farm like there's nothing, and now it's gonna be second nighttime. Schlotchlow's here. They want to kill. They're looking to go in on Thug.
Yeah, there's some farm right there. He's running away though, and now the wind run will be spent to Schlotchlow, not quite in range for any sort of slow silence. Unfortunate, but hey, it's the way it works sometimes. It's gonna happen on the nighttime soon. Top lane though, Kaiser, just battling. He's fine. He has his levels. He can be protected under a Flame Guard. But more heroes are rotating up. We've got Havost battling up against Skylark now, who's out of mana, so can't really do much. Schlotchlow will use that to try and snag and kill himself, but eventually Havost, with the delayed mana void, will grab that kill. Maybe next time unable to stop that from happening. Meanwhile, bottom Skanks. He's too far forward. Goodbye. He's glimpsing him back, but it's not going to be enough. Undying. Once again, claims the last hit on the Disruptor.
Yeah, I mean, that was a panic glimpse if I've ever seen one, seeing the Queen of Pain and just going like, uh-oh, you know, that's, what, 3-4 hits for the Queen of Pain? She's doing fantastic. She's 1-0-2, she's moving all around the map, getting some pretty good farm. She's top of the net worth chart.
Top lane again, Havost. He's getting chained up, he's taking a lot of damage, can't blink just yet. He will be kept alive a little bit longer by the Golden Embrace, but the magic burst from Kaiser's Remnants is enough to bring him down, and at that point, Winter Wyvern. Also, just food for thought there at this point, and that should also be a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I don't anticipate any rotation stopping that, but if we look at the net worth chart, the Anti-Mage and the Queen of Pain on the side of HellRaisers are still number 1, so Kaiser, he's doing good, but he hasn't quite caught up with them, and if an Anti-Mage already has this much net worth, that's very, very scary going towards the late game.
Yep. His battlefield has been delayed a little bit, but not really by too much. They're gonna need to have another couple of pickups if they really want to make sure that the timing window in the mid game is as large as it possibly can be. If Golden Boys can't do that, and if HellRaisers is able to drag the game out for longer, while also putting on pressure on Kaiser, which is kind of the flip side of the coin, they're gonna have to start using the Queen of Pain as a space creator, and Afanenge is... He has the kill and 2 assists, but most of that was the Disruptor, who is pretty much inconsequential right now. Doesn't even have his ultimate, so it's like, yeah, 3 gold, but hey, not exactly the hero that you want to spend a lot of effort killing.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying so hard. He's actually not last on the net worth chart, that goes to Winter Wyvern, but he's pretty much just sitting in this bottom lane, and he could be food at any time with a very aggressive blink from the Queen of Pain. I think even just the Night Stalker and Undying could finish him off with a well-placed Tombstone and Void, so he has to be really, really careful, and I don't think he should be alone.
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, top lane. No one here is alone as well, that's for sure. Kaiser and Davos kind of trying to stare through the trees to find each other, but for now, that will be the mechanism from Skarlark here. We talked about that. Oh, what's going on here? Skanks glimpse back Night Stalker, it looks like. Charger just turns somewhere else. Kaiser now, he's kind of being left alone up top lane. Might be a problem. Does he have a remnant up? That's my question. Yeah, it's back here though. It's not really all that far. And Kaiser, most will go on him, but the turnarounds, he has so much damage from the Sleight of Fist. Now the remnant's in aggressively. Kaiser will snag the kill before Afanenge can make sure that he will fall eventually. There we go. Took a little bit longer than expected, especially with the DD rune on the Queen of Pain, but that's not exactly the way that HellRaisers expected this to go. They expected Kaiser to just immediately remnant down and then ambush him, but he just turned it around on the Anti-Mage. Only 1 point up in the spell shield is only gonna get you so far there.
Mid lane Thug fighting for his life now. It's gonna take a Void to the face, but now it looks like Thug is fine. Thug's just gonna stay here and fight. Has the ultimate available if he gets up to tower.
Yep. I really like seeing Windrunner players these days just put that early point up into the focus fire ever since it's been buffed. So there has been a time where people just skip that entirely, but it's just really good for these rare moments where we have a chain lock on someone to try and burst them down quickly. Or as I said, for towers, just being able to lay waste as he's doing right now. Chantrell's right here though, with the slow, with the silence, but that haste rune bottled up. I believe the second or third haste rune that he's had this game. We'll make sure that he shall not fall. And Skanks, he goes level 6 on the bottom lane. He's kind of been left alone too, so now's the point where he can also start contributing in teamfights.
Yeah, he's been pretty much in this bottom lane the entire time, most of the time alone as Kaiser's rotated towards the top, so solo lane Disruptor isn't really expected, and he's having a tough time, 0-2-2, but he has the ult now, that's really his key, but it's nighttime, and Shotslow's here, so he has to watch out right now. There's 3 HellRaisers bottom, and I mean, Disruptor needs to be pinging for his friends madly now.
Well, they have a stall, and they're of course smoked up. Looking for a target they may find maybe next time, but maybe not. As he's kind of safe here under that tier 1 tower. They could definitely dive it, but it's always kind of a really, really chancy proposition up against Nerfshake. Instead, they're gonna go for the Kura here. Nothing on it, but hey, you get what you take what you can get, and they may yet find Disruptor down here in the trees.
Dire's top tower
If he's not
is under
careful.
attack.
Yeah, this is such a panic moment from the Disruptor, because what do?
Oh,
Yeah, you can throw out your
find him
ultimate.
as well. You might be able to glimpse back, goddamn, actually turning all around on the Tombstone. This is not going to work. Albeit that Disruptor and Chargelo just punches it down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just such a futile moment, because he couldn't even throw out his ultimate there. He got silenced up by the Void. Night Stalker just all over the map,
Oh,
doing
hang on,
exactly what he needs to.
Solo Warrior will fall, Turtle Reaction comes in, that'll be Alpha Ninja, but the Echo Thumb is there with a follow-up stun, not quite enough though to keep him in place too long, but Kaiser's here, gets the chains off, that should be that Queen of Pain it is with Power Shot coming in as well, and that is not something that HellRaisers wanted to have happened here. They wanted to use the Queen of Pain just to get a counter kill to make sure that she can keep snowballing, get that Orchid up and running, but they'll delay those plans. Meanwhile, above the tier 1 will fall, the teleports came in, they're gonna go on a Vose again. They do have some vision here, so they can maybe glimpse back. Yes, they can, on range, and that's the ultimate. The Vose nowhere to go, maybe next time with the Chainsaw. Even the wall committed as Shachlos also joined the party. Kaiser, he'll just make sure that that is yet another kill. HellRaisers is just falling apart, goddamn, nothing he can do. But to try and run away, and at this rate, he might not even make it. But hey, no extra mobility here on Golden Boys, so they're just gonna be happy with the 2 extra kills, one of which on the Anti-Mage down here in the bottom lane. And then that tower push that follows.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fantastic move. Yeah, they lost a tower, but take a look at the team net worth chart. It's now back in Golden Boy's favor. They got the kill on the Anti-Mage and the Night Stalker, 2 of the most pesky heroes this match so far. And, I mean, like I was saying earlier, the key to Anti-Mage is don't die, so every death just sets him farther and farther back.
Yep. He does have his Battlefield now, so at least he's got that going for himself, but actually, if you could do a stack check, they're only now starting it unless he's already found up some, but there's a double stack here in hard camp and 1 in the medium camp in their own jungle. The thing is, Anti-Mage, with these deaths, he will need quite some time to actually, before he actually gets online, gets relevant in team fights. Until that time comes, Kaiser is with the amount of covering fight that he has, from Nerfshaker, from Disruptor, from Darkseer, they can do a whole lot when it comes to 5-man right now. Golden Boys can, and yeah, they're utilizing that. They're just pushing straight into the tier 2. Don't even give them. Just make sure that the game doesn't go as long as it needs to for the Anti-Mage to flourish.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, what's forcing them back right now? They're scared of nighttime, they're scared of Night Stalker, but they've still got a good amount of daylight left. Looks like the Winter Wyvern coming in, throwing out some scary ice, but, I mean, Golden Boys, they're still here to stay. I mean, they're not really afraid of anything. They have a Disruptor ult ready to go. They have a wall if they need it. They even have an Echo Slam in 8 seconds. They have full team fight potential ready to go.
Yep. If they have had a smoke as well, they could potentially go for fake back right now. It's just a siege at this point. And HellRaisers, normally you would just either say, alright, we team fight, but they can't really do that right now with the position that they're in. The other thing would be, hey, split push, but Vose, he's power in the jungle, he's too afraid right now to go to commit to this top lane. And
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
what do you do if you're in HellRaiser situation right now? Do you try to contest this tower? Do you try to just force out the ultimates from Golden Boys and then back? Do you try to just split up elsewhere and farm, which it looks like that's what Anti-Mage is doing and that's what he should be doing. But, I mean, I don't know what you do in this position. It seems like Golden Boys are starting to snowball and HellRaisers aren't in the position to take them down.
Yeah, that's really, that's exactly right. And it's also due to the Night Stalker maybe. I mean, Shachlo hasn't really been able to find any sort of ganks and rotations in these earlier night times that you really need from a Night Stalker to be able to just keep the train going. Just create some space for your team. I mean, that's what it's all about with an Anti-Mage on your team. And Queen of Pain, Alpha Ninja, he's been doing alright. There's only so much that you can do as a Queen of Pain, especially with that Orchid build. And with now Golden Boys 5-manning, that is not the item that you want to have. You kind of want to have that Aghanim Scepter instead, just to be able to clear waves, to be able to do a lot of extra damage. But now, NJ might fall here, blinks into the trees. Can they find him? Not guessing, not throwing out the vacuum there. So Lucky Co-op gets away, but once again, it's Golden Boy's map.
We are going to see a disconnect from the Queen of Pain here, but just something to note is there was a smoke up on the Earthshaker, as well as the Windrunner. They are now in the dire jungle, ready to look for some blood here, but they really won't find much of anything, as everyone else is kind of towards the Ancient Pit, and Anti-Mage is all the way down in the bottom lane.
Yeah. HellRaisers, they do have that aggressive ward in the Radiant side jungle, and that'll at least spot out that there's nothing really going on down here. Middle lane is also pushed out, no one to be seen there, so it's good conclusion to make that they're probably in your own jungle. That means that the host can be fairly confident split pushing down this bottom lane. Fortunately, there's no tier 1 to take, so no extra gold influx that way. But at least he's farming. That's really what HellRaisers' game plan is going to have to be. Try and defend your T2s as best you can. Try and defend high ground if it comes to that. And just make sure that the Anti-Mage gets to the point where it just starts picking off people, can't really be killed anymore. And that point will probably come. At the same time though, Ember Spirit, when it comes to late game carries, he's also one of the better ones. If he has like a ridiculous amount of damage items for the Slider Fist.
Alright, looks like we are going to go ahead and get back into the game. Like you said, HellRaisers right now, they're trying to farm up, maybe defend their tier 2s if it seems right, but it seems like Golden Boys are snowballing, and when do you think that's going to stop? What does Anti-Mage need to get? What does Night Stalker need to get to put a stop to this?
Well, Night Stalker is getting that Aghanim Scepter now, and that'll definitely help, just to make sure that you take team fights at an intelligence advantage. But hey, there's a Shackle will not last, so Shashlo will probably survive, maybe half an inch, and not. He gets locked down with the Static Storm as well. Easy pickings there on what is not the highest net worth hero, hasn't been for a long time. Yeah. Free picked off on one of the HellRaisers cores, and they keep playing like that. There's really not a whole lot that they can do. They need to have that Axe and Night Stalker, just so these kind of pickoffs just don't happen. They need to have the intelligence advantage. They need to see Gold Boys coming before they get these kind of jumps.
And it looks like it's going to be another free tower here on the side of Golden Boys. They've now picked off the top and bottom tier 2s. Looks like they could be heading towards the mid, but they'd take some damage to their own tier 2 down bottom. Kaiser TPing back to mitigate that, and it looks like, I mean, Anti-Mage and Goddamn are both being forced back here, and that's not the position you want to see your Anti-Mage in at 20 minutes in the game.
Absolutely not. I mean, he's doing okay in terms of farm, 20 minutes in with the Battlefield, and almost has the Vlads completed as well. But if you compare that to where Gold Boys is at now, just in terms of map control, that's only outer tier tower left is this tier 2 mid, and that's not long for the world. Once Gold Boys is to group up again, that'll fall as well. And there's not really a whole lot that HellRaisers can do to counter that. I mean, sure, you have a 1-to-5 ultimate, you have a Queen of Pain, but that is some damage. But where's your follow-up? You don't really have much. Undying Tombstone, it's okay. But you really need that to stack up during the 5-minute winter scores almost, it feels like, to be able to get Gold Boys without any collateral damage. And yeah, there's Ganks. That's the winter scores, but he doesn't even immediately die to it. The ultimate has to be given in as well. Dark gets grazed by that, but he will be able to just wind run out, it looks like. Ninja, yeah, took quite a bit of damage himself, and that's a really, really long cooldown ultimate committed just to pick up that Disruptor again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a lot of expense wasted just for this Disruptor who, yeah, he has a fantastic ultimate and he can glimpse back a key player, but what else is he really offering? Oh, Havos might be in some trouble here. Does manage to blink away, but might be brought back here. Earthshaker going in, catches the long-range fissure, and now it looks like he's in trouble. Surge in onto the Windrunner, who decides just to back off and go the other way. So maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but Havost gets off away, but man, he's scared to farm anywhere right now, and that's not where you want to see an Anti-Mage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really gonna come down to whether they can defend higher ground, and I really got a question if they can. Especially considering Roshan. I mean, it's not really the best Rosh taking lineup, but it's not the worst either. You can kind of spread out the damage, and you have the focus fire to just put on some extra. Even with the Aghanim Scepter not completed as well, so if they want, they can take Roshan, and that'll just make breaking base all the more easier.
Is it just me that just noticed that Undying has not picked up his ultimate yet?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Skanks. What are you doing? I mean, I keep saying that he's not really consequential, but giving up deaths like that is not exactly what you can afford anyway. And now it looks like HellRaisers might want to try and go for something more, but they won't find it. Oh, Oh, blink out for maybe next time. Just in time, I dare say.
There's going
Now
to be a
the
smoke up from the
HellRaisers,
Dire. Looks like they are going to rotate into the Roche. Maybe. They're going to check out the Roche. It looks like they're going to take it. Bring up some illusion runes. Hopefully there was no vision of that from the Radiant, but this was a really nice Roche opportunity. I think it's one way for HellRaisers to really scrape their way back into the game right now. They need to get that Aegis the Immortal. They need to get that extra gold. It's going to be a really, really good turning point if they get this completely uncontested.
That's a really, really smart move to try and go for this now. A little bit of an all-or-nothing play as well, because if they do get contested, the Golden Boys would have smelled this out, and looks like they may now. They're grouping up, maybe waiting for smoke, but they don't have one. Yeah, there we go. They have one smoke off cooldown on the skank in a couple of seconds, but it's too late. Roshan is already down. If Golden Boys were just a little bit quicker on the trigger there, then that could have ended disastrously for HellRaisers, but right now, they have an Aegis on the Anti-Mage. This will probably be a farming Aegis, if you've ever seen one, just because they still can't really take fights, even with that on the Anti-Mage, but it'll buy them a lot of time, because Golden Boys, as good as they are feeling right now, I don't think they really want to risk going high ground without that extra life.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Boys, they're feeling really good. They've got a lot of map control going for them, but take a look at the net XP chart. It's actually heavily in favor of HellRaisers right now, and I think that's just because you've got the big guys on the team. You've got Anti-Mage, you've got Night Stalker. They're both sitting pretty comfortably in terms of levels.
Yeah. It's also due to the 5-man of Golden Boys. I mean, sure, that you're taking towers, but you're spreading out a lot of experience, whereas HellRaisers, they're spread out across the map. Getting some extra experience, and Skanks will fall yet again, or maybe the Skylark actually tries to go for the combo, but the Echo Step will whip as well, and gets it out now. 3 heroes, and now all the ultimates are being played, all the ultimates are being thrown on. Kaiser joins the party. That's the damage that they were looking for. Shatlow will get cut off by another slide of this. The most still alive, but he sees the rest of his team dying. And the Shackle will trigger the Aegis. 4 for 2 trades so far, and that will probably be another one if they can get the chance right. There it is. Just throwing out everything on that Anti-Mage as he came back to life, and now...
That's a 6-man wipe, essentially, and now Golden Boys, they have the opportunity to go take this mid tower. Anti-Mage isn't up for 50 seconds. Does he have buyback?
Yeah, he does
He does have buyback, but what can he do at this point? He's not big enough to contest this wall of damage coming out from Golden Boys. We were worried that Kaiser wasn't going to get enough farm or space to himself to get big enough in time, but I think that's certainly changed right now.
Well, there's the glyph availables. That'll be latest a little bit, and the death time is also relatively short at this point, so most of them will be back up. And actually, Anti-Mage, what did he buy? He just bought the Manstar recipe, knowing that he won't have to buy back. But even just with that short time, they did so much work on this tier 3. If they lose another fight like that, that might be game already. After a nice Shackle here from the Centaur, Focus Fire, will it be enough? They need something more. They need a glimpse back, and they will get it. And can they blink out in time? No, it doesn't look like it. At the same time, with the Wyvern falls, Kaiser's still going strong after goddamn. He's sealing himself up, but it's only going to delay the inevitable triple kill for Skylark of all people.
Yeah, this Darkseer's been absolutely on point with the Ion
yeah.
Shells, and the walls themselves have been really good. Sometimes maybe a little bit overcommitting and, over-securing a kill, but Skylark has been playing out of his mind right now. Not super intense in terms of item build. He has those classic, mech soul blink dagger boots, but he's doing exactly what he needs to in the fights, which is just keeping everyone scared, keeping everyone taking damage from the Ion Shells, throwing out incredibly well-positioned walls. And do you think Golden Boys have snowballed out of control, or do HellRaisers still have a chance?
Well,
Anti-Mage.
Yeah, I hate to call things earlier, but at this point it's a really tough spot to be in, because you have a Night Stalker who can only do so much with the kind of start that he had. You have an Undying who naturally falls off in strength. At this point, you have a Winter Wyvern who hasn't really been able to find these big Winter Curses. Still only level 1, so even if you get it off, it's like 2.5 seconds. It's mediocre at best because they're also lacking the damage. It's really hard right now. Once again,
Yeah.
I hate to call it early. If Golden Boys just run in and kind of throw, HellRaisers can still get this game, but I don't see what's stopping them from just going high ground once the next Roshan hits. They will be able to secure that, and then they have all the tools that they need. They have Nerf Shaker who's building a 4-staff now on top of the Blink Dagger, so he's got the mobility. You have a Windrunner with a Blink, plus the Axe, and plenty of gold to start building his the first damage item. You have a Disruptor with everything that he needs. Arcane Boots, plus the Static Storm at the ready. You have a Darkseer who's guarding Grease Blink as well. And you have an Ember Spirit who's not quite sitting on top of the net worth chart, but pretty damn close for the Battle Fury, as well as Manta Style of his own.
They're gonna see Havost going very aggressively here on Kaiser. Looks like there's gonna be an Orchid up from the Queen of Pain. It looks like he's gonna be taking incredible damage. Havost just hitting, and it looks like finally a Mana Void from Havost is gonna finish off the Ember Spirit, and that could be the kill they need.
Well, the Kaiser's curse. It strikes again. I'm so sorry, Kaiser. But hey, that was 4-hero commitment at the same time top lane. Not quite at tier 3 yet, but Starker will be looking to push that out, force them back. So even though they get that really nice kill, HellRaisers, it's really hard for them to get any sort of extra advantage off of that. They aren't in position to push an extra tower. Roshan's not up yet. Will be in 6 minutes, so rather long respawn, I believe.
Yeah, it's been a pretty long time, and who do you think's in a better position to go in for this Roshan? Do you think this could come down to one final fight in front of the pit, or do you think it's going to be super sneaky, no one knows what's going on? I just think, both teams have the potential to make this Roche work for them so well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, HellRaisers does have the Undying plus the Winter Wyvern and the AoE from the Queen of Pain. But if you compare that to these excellent Roche fighting abilities from Fissure, Echo Slam, and all that AoE lockdown from Earthshaker, you have the Static Storm, you have the Darkseer, just the mass and controlling these kind of team fights in these tight areas. I would have to give it to Golden Boys if it turns into a 5-on-5 fight. But if HellRaisers can sneak it again, well, then they might be able to delay the game long enough for that anti-mage to get where it needs to be, to just split push it out if need be. Just hold base indefinitely and have the anti-mage do the rat work. That's also a way that they can go, but if it comes to a 5-on-5 team fight right now with the position that they're in right now, Golden Boys with about a 7.5k gold advantage, I would give it to them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned just having Anti-Mage do the rat work and having his team defend high ground, but HellRaisers really don't have that fantastic of a high ground defense. They have the Queen of Pain and the Winter Wyvern, and those two are great, but the Undying, he's much more of an offensive, throw the tombstone down and zone people out kind of thing. But after that, he just barely got his ultimate. He's really not doing as good as you'd expect an Undying to do.
Gone right into Chandler here. Shatra will break the smoke. Skarlak with the vacuum into the shackles for everything. A little bit of overkill maybe in these two heroes. They didn't need all their ultimates there, but hey, take
Kill
what you
secured.
can get. Yeah, exactly. Triple secured, if you will. But hey,
yeah, but now they're in a position.
Down. Yeah.
There's no.
Goddamn no! He was going to fall too. Does have the mechanism to keep him up. Drops the tombstone, but the glimpse back. Apple is gonna try and help him. He puts his hands up to maybe next time, but he's already blown float. He doesn't have the Echo Slam anymore. Doesn't have any sort of contributions to make at this point, and even the ultimate blown to no avail. And if you don't go right now for Gold Boys, then I don't know when.
Yeah, I mean, they feel just really hesitant, and in the team fights they've been throwing out all their ultimates to secure the kills. It feels like they're just, they're a little bit underconfident of where they should be. I feel like Earthshaker, he's holding onto a gem, so he does need to be a little bit more careful of, if he were to go down, where does he die? But I think in this situation, there's, high ground waiting for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The glyph will be forced out as the backdoor regeneration, the backdoor protection was already lifted by these creeps in mid. So, yeah, right now Golden Boy's just making sure that all the waves are pushed out, because actually if you look at bottom lane, both presumably has been doing some work. Tier 3
he was doing that rat work that you were talking about, but then again, they lost a couple in the mid lane. I feel like Havost, he almost needs to be fighting with his team, and that's never where you want to see an anti-mage, but he's just really... Yeah. He's making up the farm he needs to. He's top of the net worth chart, but what's he gonna get out of that if his racks go down?
No. Well, it's not like he really has bad items for team fighting right now. It's kind of the sheer minimum that you have to have, like Manta Style for defensive purposes, Battle Fury for some extra damage and cleave, and yeah, and the VATs that can actually help quite nicely in team fight. It's not just yourself, but the rest of your team. But once again, it's as you said, we would rather have him split push, and there we go. He's doing exactly that. Top tier 2 is in peril. Kaiser looking to try and do something against this, and will at least stop this push. At the same time, he's not going to be there for that Roche attempt.
Roche still has a good long time to go, and we are going to see a rotation in just from Kaiser. He is just going to do what he can. Earthshaker, putting down the Gem of True Sight, is going to make some space for himself. They're all smoked up here, and... Sorry, Earthshaker's just invised up, but What do they do with this? It feels like Golden Boys, they've had the map handed to them, and they just haven't been able to take what they need. They have the, mid racks, and that's fantastic, but it feels like their window might be closing just a little bit, as the Anti-Mage is just going to get bigger, and Night Stalker is going to get bigger. What do Golden Boys do to secure this victory?
Well, once again, it can come down to the Roche. It's probably what they're waiting for. Anything else would kind of not really make sense. I mean, they have pretty much all the items that they need at this point. So that's the only thing that I can think of that would actually keep them from going all aggro. Yeah, they even got the gem from the Night Stalker. We haven't really pointed it out particularly, but the gem that the Disruptor was carrying, or is carrying here, was actually on Goddamn before. So you still have that unobstructed vision during nighttime, but you don't have the true sight to go with that. Yeah, I just think it'll be the next Roshan, and then Golden Boys will try and go for high ground. At the same time, though, they want to make sure that these side lanes aren't pushed out long enough so that Anti-Mage can immediately trade for racks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Golden Boys are in a tricky situation because they've got incredible team fight, but now HellRaisers have kind of figured it out. They're splintering off. They're not all being in one place, and that's where it's getting tough. Here we go. There's another nighttime, and this could get kind of ugly, as we are going to see Darkseer get pretty close to the Night Stalker, but no, he will blink himself away and run as fast as he can.
Yep. Charger just scouting out Roshan. HellRaisers. Oh, well, it's going in the mid. There's Shackle onto a tree. Both will be locked down with the Echo Slam. That was a worthy trade here. Wasn't even a trade. Yeah, we can call it a trade, I guess. Ultimate for a hero. That was the 17, almost 18k net worth Anti-Mage. It does not have buyback. If Golden Boys catch wind of that, then that should be at least one more set of racks. Side lane, bottom lane is pushed out quite far enough. Top lane is almost at the tier 3. Can HellRaisers defend this right now? They don't have Glyph, they have Winter's Curse, but they don't have their Anti-Mage.
Yeah, who's their target in this? Are they going to immediately go for Kaiser, or are they going to go in for Thug, who's just melting down these towers and racks like it's nothing? It feels like there's almost too many targets right now because of this Ultra Team Fight lineup. It looks like there is going to be a Tombstone thrown down. It looks like the ultimate is going to be popped from the Winter Wyvern onto Kaiser. Kaiser's Remnant's back. He's doing okay right now. Thug just going in for these racks, doing what he can. And YOLO Warrior, what do you do as a Winter Wyvern against a lineup like this? This just feels horrible. Looks like Queen of Pain has her ult, but who's she going to pitch it onto? Looks like Orchid is going to go onto Kaiser, but he immediately just mantas it off. And now Apo Ninja, he's just sitting here like a duck. He's getting stuck in. Looks like there's going to be a glimpse in from Goddamn into a beautiful wall and Static Storm. This could be it, and it looks like this may be it for HellRaisers, that they're going to get completely wiped, and now there's going to be some free racks handed out to Golden Boys, and this is looking more and more grim for HellRaisers. Anti-Mage, he's back up, but what does he do?
Well, they're gonna throw it in for one last ditch effort. Havos can already wasted a lot of time on this BKB. Maybe next time just blinking out. Everyone just dodging him. Alpha Ninja as well. He's got the slow off an illusion. It's just like
Yeah, this is just
this
playing
game
with
is
their
over
food
already,
at this point. Yeah.
But I just want to point out again how beautiful that team fight was. So that's the entire high group push from Golden Boys. They're not overconfident. They have the Windrunner just taking care of the buildings. They have Kaiser on the other side of the racks just zoning them out, just looking for opportunities, and the rest of the team at the back with the blinks ready to just jump in at a time. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, they were never really in a good position for Winter's Curse that hits more than one target. I mean, as soon as YOLO Warriors was throwing that out, they didn't even have enough portal for Kaiser, right? And oh wow, they will find two more here. Vacuum into the chains, Kaiser's just chopping away at them. That'll be half an inch at least blinking out for the time being, and both falling on the seal, but there's a glimpse back, that'll be goddamn. That Undying will be dying right now with the shackle onto the trees. Easy pickings. Two heroes down and don't really see them survive in this one shot. Yeah, everyone's top. Queen of Pain, yeah, drops the ultimate, they will get the disruptor, but hey, Echo Slam, Shackle. Kavos gets another kill just for the what's it called? I forgot the word I was going to use, but hey.
Well, there's
Tip going down at the end of it all. Kaiser will snag that kill. The battle of the carries, and the GG well played is called. Golden Boys take game number 1 in this best of 3 series. Yeah. What a good execution from them.
Yeah, that was certainly interesting. The draft was, we thought it could go either way, and then looks like Golden Boys, they found their lead and they held on to it, and they were very slow. I thought they could have, sieged faster and snowballed harder, but I guess slow and steady wins the race. They did what they needed, and Golden Boys have game number 1 in this best of 3, so we're going to move on to game 2 very shortly.
Oh yeah, and yeah, so I was talking about in the draft, do not count out Golden Boys. That's a